All right, let's go to a Renaissance fair. Good morning. I'm getting an ab workout standing in my own house right now, just from having to like balance forward. So last night I parked on a hill in a residential area for the first time in my 2 years living in this van. And I hope it's also my last time sleeping on a hill because all night I was just pressed up against the wall and miserable. But regardless, we are up early and on the road heading to the Tennessee Renaissance Festival. And somehow the universe landed the most perfect Renaissance fair for me within a few miles of where I was on my road trip across America, but I'll explain that more later. So a Renaissance fair is an outdoor gathering that recreates the English Renaissance just for fun. And people go aiming to recreate and feel like they are living that time period through costuming, foods, conversations, and more. The Renaissance period was a time of high culture, art, social sciences, and of course, fashion. The first Renaissance festival was held in California in 1962 to create a living history exhibit, but became very popular, and now there are fairs all across the country. I love when I show up to these events and everyone around me is already like ready to go. They like park, they get out of their car, and I'm like, we have a lot to do. Let's go. So welcome to my garage. I never show this area in vlogs for a reason, which you can probably see, which is that it is never organized. But in my next van build, I definitely plan on building in more organizational plans so that I can utilize the space better. I'm parked on an angle again. I can tell because all of the water when I brushed my teeth is all on that side. So I had an immense amount of self-control because I wanted to wait for this part to do it together. All right, so there's a lot of pieces to this. We should start with this one. So here we go. I hope these all fit because I haven't tried them on and I'm already in the parking lot, so I can't like leave to go to Walmart to pick something up. So here's to hoping for the best. All right, piece one. Piece number two. Oh my God. One done. Wait a minute. Honestly, I don't know if this is all right or not, but oh my God, I feel like a fairy. Ugh, I'm so excited. It gets better. It gets better. Okay. I don't actually know which one's which. I don't think you're ready for this. Okay, ready? Right now, like looking at this and twirling in it because I can't stop myself. I feel like it could be pastel pirate or pastel fairy, and I love that, but it's about to get very distinguished. Just wait for it. Let's open it together. Let's look at it together. Okay, ready? Look at that. Okay. I'm so happy right now. I feel like a fairy princess, and like, what more could a girl want than being a fairy princess? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I'm just too excited. The outfit's not even done. We still have one more thing that's gonna just... Oh my God. I know. It's not too much. It's never too much. 1 minute while I put on my ears. All right, let's go to a Renaissance fair. All those cars are a visual representation of how long it took me to get ready. So I can hear cheering, so I'm so excited, but we gotta go. Okay. I have a lot in my purse. No shame. There is cheering from all directions, so I don't even know what direction to go in. We'll find out. We're in this together. VanLife perk is that I didn't pay attention to where I parked, but my van is so big, I'll be able to find it. I'm not even worried.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right. Fun.
Thanks, you too. If you wonder how I video myself when I'm alone, this is how. I just learned to find really great surfaces for my phone. However, putting on my own wristband by myself, a little bit harder. Oh my gosh. I had a good to stay, don't judge me. All right, ready to go. Welcome to the Tennessee Renaissance Festival. There is so much to do, from eating to shopping to you name it, but the very first thing we are going to do is leave, kind of. So on the grounds of this festival specifically is Castle Gwen, which is one of the most iconic places in Tennessee, in my very, very, very biased opinion, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is Castle Gwen, and it is actually a private residence. Yes, real people live their daily lives in the castle, which is why they only open the castle during the Ren Faire and no other time during the year. The castle actually started in 1970 as a high school student's drafted sketch in a vocational class, inspired by the architecture in Wales for an assignment to sketch their dream home. This high school senior kept that dream alive for many years, and in 1980 he finally had the land and began to truly bring to life his dream home. And that dream home inspired many more things in the years to come, including becoming the set of a very iconic music video. This castle, this little archway right here, is where Taylor Swift recorded the Love Story music video. And we're here in that presence, which is pretty incredible. So obviously I have one earbud in listening to the Taylor's version of Love Story. When Freeman, the owner of the castle, was asked about the cost, he said this: "If you're willing to work hard, anything's possible. People think just because I live in a castle, I'm rich. But for perspective, consider the fact that I work 12 to 18-hour days, and it has taken us 26 years to build the castle so far. I pay for it as I go, and when I run out of money, I stop working." Surprisingly, that resonated with me, similar to my camper van build. It's why there's no air conditioner, windows, why the heater wasn't installed until after the build was over. I worked a 9 to 5 throughout my build, and when I needed to save money for the next piece of the build, I would work with what I had until I had saved enough money. On another note, here is a shameless video I asked a random woman to take of me so I could recreate this part of the Love Story music video. At this point, I realized I didn't even know what I'd been waiting in line for 45 minutes, but I was not let down. It was all to see one singular tiny room, which seems silly, but can you spot the two things that do not belong in a medieval castle? If I owned a castle, this is absolutely something I would do. It is so unhinged and I adore it. But now it is time to go back to the main grounds of the fair. We have a goal, which is to find a turkey leg. Okay? That's the goal. It's the second reason we're here, besides the Love Story castle, obviously. I love me some turkey legs. So upon rounding the corner, I was faced with a serious conundrum. I had to ask myself, is a turkey leg worth 45 minutes in line? And apparently the answer was yes, it was. So instead of focusing on every person walking by me with delicious looking turkey legs, let's play one of my favorite vlog segments, which you may remember from my Kentucky Derby vlog if you hung out with me in that video. So let's rank my favorite outfits that I have seen while standing in line. Number 5, this Harley Quinn costume, which is so unique but perfect because Harley Quinn's original costume has Renaissance roots. Number 4, this sick plague doctor costume, pun absolutely intended. Number 3, the hooves on this satyr costume, because the dedication to wear these, they're basically heels all day through the gravel, I'm just impressed. Number 2, these homemade mushroom hats, which are just so precious. And number 1, I think my jaw actually dropped, is Shrek. And that is my fashion recap for you, but now it is time for a turkey leg, which I actually heard some rumors that they aren't even turkey, but they are actually emu meat, which is how they are so big. Does anyone know about this? Because it would explain why it didn't taste quite right and why the turkey legs were just ginormous.
What would you like, beautiful?
Just one plain.
One plain? Yes, ma'am.
And every time you tip at one of these booths, this is what happens. I feel minorly psychotic walking around with this. It's freaking huge. So at first, I didn't even know what to do. I just stared at it. It was so big, I was very intimidated. But eventually, I just gave it a go and just allowed myself to look like a fool. And then a woman came up to me and she said I looked like a feral fairy when I was eating it. And I don't think I've ever received a nicer compliment. Until 3 little girls holding hands came up to me and told me I was pretty. And that pretty much made every insecurity I have ever had go away. It reminded me of how I used to do this game where I would just go around complimenting as many people as possible because someone did it for me once after I lost a competition when I was young. amazing, and I held on to that compliment as hope that no matter the outcome, there were people who saw me shine regardless of the outcome. So I started doing it for others so that they could have that too, and when I saw how their face would light up, I kind of made a game of it, trying to compliment as many people as possible. So I brought it back at the fair today, and it is just so nice that you can make a positive impact on someone's day for 0 cents, and it can truly shine back on you and make your day feel brighter too. So after I finished my chicken leg, I watched a knife throwing show and then headed off to find whatever the Ren Faire was hosting next, and I quickly found these beautiful swords, which made me very happy. I just feel like owning a sword or dagger would just complete my life, but alas, I am on a budget, and unfortunately, I didn't include swords in it this month. Maybe next month, we'll see. All right, check number 1. Do I still have both ears? Yes, all right. Do I have a weird sunburn? We're gonna hope not. All right. If you have any ideas of festivals I should go to next, or just cool events and stuff, tell me, comment, let me know, because I almost missed this one, and I would have missed the Love Story Castle. Oh, it is hot in here. I forgot to turn the fan on. Oh God, the fans don't pull that much energy and much from my battery, but dear Lord, do they make a difference when you get back in here and it is stuffy. And it's like everything you own's in here, so like everything you own gets stuffy too. Wow, what a hairstyle. Let's get this party rolling. But anyway, we did it. We Renaissance faired. So hard that half my makeup is like sweat off. Like, it's been a struggle. But it was a great day. I loved it. It was a great day. I love just doing weird random things. All right, what to do now? I should probably get work done for my job. Probably. I feel like there's a trick to getting these things off, but then I made it so tight that... Got it. Okay. All right, let's go. I'm just gonna arrange everything into acceptable drivable position. That way everything doesn't fly when I drive. Make sure I locked the table this week. And then I found a park to go to. So I'm very excited to, you know, go make dinner, relax, hashtag van life stuff, I don't know. All right, we're set. Cheers to the weekend. This is so warm, ew. That branch is honestly a little too low for me to not be hitting it. Ooh, it didn't sound the best, but it would have been worse the other direction, so. And in case you want to go and you're wondering, admission to the fair was $25, the turkey leg was $15, and parking was free. And I didn't include the gas in my budget for today because I was already supposed to head in this direction, so the day cost me a total of about $40. The park I wanted to go to, it had a tennis court so I could roller skate on it, but it was actually in a school, like a middle school. So I'm like, that's their property. It's not a public park. And Google Maps doesn't really distinguish well enough the two of those. So I drove all the way here. So I drove a little bit farther. I found a semi-pretty parking lot at an Advanced Auto Parts, and the ground's pretty smooth. So if I wanted to, I could pull out the skates. I'm hungry. I'm just, there's a hotel right next door, so I think I might sleep here tonight. So we're making the most of it. We're learning to better inspect upon parks before we drive there to make sure they're not school parks. Honestly, I'm just ready to settle in for the night. It doesn't really matter where I am. I'm gonna be in the van for the most part. So, I'm at home. As long as I can open the door somewhere, I'm happy. So, yeah, that's it. Let's go make a smoothie. Oh my gosh. Whew. There. The next fan, air conditioning? I think so. I think despite the price, we're gonna have to go for it because I'm dying in here. All right. My favorite place to go with my little sister was Pliables, and I am learning that they are not an everywhere in the country thing. So I have learned how to make the one smoothie that I like the most by myself, because that's the weird thing about traveling is like you have favorite places to go, and then once you leave that place, you can't go there anymore. So it's a shake weight, but you get a smoothie at the end. Huh. Not bad. All right, I haven't pulled these bad boys out in a minute, but today seemed like the day. So yeah, an auto parts store is not the most convenient place to roller skate, but it has such smooth ground. How could I pass it up? When you're living on the road, you just take what you can get, and this is a little win. All right, so I'm going to try to refrain from injuring myself, but thank you so much for hanging out with me this week at the Ren Faire, and I'll see you next week for another exciting adventure from life on the road.